In a world where vision and determination converge, emerges a leader like no other, said Barre, a former president who shaped Somalia's history. As a child, he faced life's trials with gritty resolve. Born into a nomadic tribe, his early years were fraught with struggle. The sprawling Somali plains were his tutor, teaching resilience. Blossoming from these adversities, he became one of the most influential leaders of his time. Despite formidable challenges, Barre's ascent to the presidency is a testimony to grit, ambition, and tenacity. He rose to become one of the most influential leaders of his time. Barre's presidency brought about a wave of unprecedented changes in Somalia. He implemented free education and healthcare, impacting millions of lives vastly. These services, once seen as luxuries, were now reachable for every Somali. Barre's rule led to the rise of a formidable military, placing Somalia as a major continental force. The army, under his leadership, made its mark against Ethiopia, garnering international attention. Under his command, the Somali army recorded a resounding victory against Ethiopia, a feat that catapulted the nation into the international spotlight. Beyond the borders of Somalia, Barre's influence was palpable. He was a pivotal figure for South Africa and Mozambique. His steadfast advocacy for their liberation struggles was evident. Barre, with his strategic thinking and support, significantly contributed to their freedom fights. His role was not just limited to a bystander, but he was actively involved in the planning and execution phases. His efforts and contributions were of such magnitude that they played a key role in their independent movements. His contributions to their independence movements were instrumental, earning him a place in the annals of African history. Under Barre's leadership, Somalia underwent a transformative era with infrastructural development and societal progress. Schools and hospitals were constructed, and a robust defense system was put in place. Barre's reforms led to job creation and improved living standards. Despite challenges, he remained dedicated to his people. His leadership reshaped Somalia and influenced African leaders. As we delve into his journey, we uncover the power of vision, resilience, and ambition, a tale told through the eyes of a man who dared to change the course of his nation's destiny. From a child grappling with the nomadic life to the president of a nation, Siad Barre's journey is remarkable. His life story has become a beacon of hope. It exemplifies the potential of individuals to shape destiny. Today, Somalia is at a turning point, dealing with changes bravely. The nation is asserting its identity on the global stage. As we delve into Barre's influence, we see a nation rebuilding and advancing on the world stage. Join us on this journey, celebrating African excellence, and don't forget to subscribe to Rise Africa for more inspiring educational stories. As the 1980s drew to a close, Somalia was on the brink of a brutal civil war. Various clans were at odds, with tension, economic hardship, and public dissatisfaction further fueling the unrest. President Siad Barre's regime was crumbling, the once respected leader now a target of rebellion. His departure on January 26, 1991, marked the onset of a turbulent era in Somalia's history. The resilience of the Somali people, their determination to rise above the ashes of their past, and their undying hope for a better tomorrow, is a story that needs to be told. Subscribe to Rise Africa as we continue to unearth the stories that define the African continent. Following Barre's departure, Somalia was left in a state of disarray. This once unified nation suddenly found itself shattered and divided, replaced by a battleground, a manifestation of the power vacuum that the departure of Barre had precipitated. Multiple factions arose, each with their own unique vision and distinct hopes for what future of Somalia could become. These factions fiercely vied for control, their power struggles sinking the country further into a quagmire of conflict and violence. In this ceaseless battle for dominance, the Somali people found themselves caught in the crossfire. They suffered immensely, bearing the heavy burden of the political turmoil. The civil war that ensued was brutal and unsparing. The infrastructure of the nation, carefully built over the years, crumbled under the weight of the war. Schools that once echoed with the laughter of children were reduced to rubble. Hospitals that were the beacon of hope for the sick and injured lay in ruins. Homes that offered shelter and comfort to families were destroyed, leaving countless displaced and homeless. The economy of the nation, which was already fragile under Barre's regime, collapsed entirely. The economic devastation was catastrophic, leaving the Somali people, who had once prospered during the early years of Barre's presidency, in a state of destitution. Their lives were marked by hardship, uncertainty, and a constant struggle for survival. The international community watched the unfolding catastrophe in Somalia with growing alarm and concern. In response to the chaos and famine following the collapse of Somalia's government, the U.S. spearheaded a mission primarily focused on stabilizing the country and capturing influential warlords, including Mohammed Farah Aidid. Despite initial successes in humanitarian aid distribution, the mission faced significant challenges in the complex urban warfare environment of Mogadishu. The Battle of Mogadishu, known as Black Hawk Down, epitomized these challenges, with the U.S. failing to capture key warlords and ultimately reconsidering its strategy, leading to a withdrawal of forces. This operation highlighted the difficulties of military interventions in chaotic, politically fragmented environments. In response to the escalating crisis, numerous aid organizations from across the globe poured into the country. They were driven by a shared mission to provide much-needed relief to the war-torn nation. However, their noble efforts were frequently hindered by the ongoing conflict. The volatile and unpredictable security situation made it exceedingly difficult to reach the most vulnerable populations, those who were in dire need of assistance. The civil war in Somalia, ignited by the departure of Siad Barre, left a profound and lasting impact on the nation. It irreversibly shaped the present circumstances and the future trajectory of the country. The physical and psychological scars of the war are still visible today, serving as a stark reminder of the turbulent years that followed Barre's departure. They are an enduring testament to the devastating effects of war and conflict. Yet, amidst the ruins and remnants of a painful past, the indefatigable spirit of the Somali people shines forth. Their resilience and determination as a beacon of hope in a nation that is still grappling with the aftermath of its tumultuous past. As we continue on this journey, we will delve deeper into how Somalia has endeavored to rebuild from the ashes, reinvent itself, and rediscover its identity in the post-Barre era. Stay tuned for the next episode of our journey through the rich tapestry of African history. Despite the tumultuous end to his presidency, Barre's legacy is a complex one. His era was filled with distinct changes. A major focus of his tenure was on social reforms and educational advancements. Education was made universally available, breaking barriers that had previously existed. Women saw unprecedented equality, a significant shift in a region where gender disparity was commonplace. One of his most notable contributions was standardizing the Somali script, unifying the nation linguistically. Yet, this progress didn't come free of charge. Barre's regime was authoritarian, suppressing opposition and dissent. The tactics employed during the subsequent civil war were ruthless, leaving an indelible scar on the nation's psyche. His departure triggered a civil war that led to a catastrophic loss of life and destruction, transforming Somalia into ruins still evident today. In contemporary Somalia, Barre's legacy ignites intense debate. Some recall his early years with nostalgia, lauding him as a champion of modernization. For them, he was an advocate for social reform. However, others view him through a different lens. They deem him a dictator whose actions spiraled the country into war and chaos. His legacy continues to influence discourse about Somalia's past and future. It serves as a stark reminder of the balance between progress and stability and the repercussions of limitless power. As we delve further into the aftermath of his departure, we will continue to explore how this balance shapes Somalia's journey toward recovery and growth. Stay tuned for the next episode of our journey through the rich tapestry of African history. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Your time and engagement mean the world to us. Thanks for tuning in to Rise Africa channel and being a part of our community.